supreme victory.
Today is the day, ladies and gentlemen. Who is gonna take it? Is Biden gonna come through, or is Trump gonna come through? I actually don't know, but I thought I would kind of feel it out and just see kind of like maybe if I can predict what's gonna happen at all. You know, I wasn't right in the 2016 election. I was right about one thing though. If you go all the way back to like 2015 or something, I'm pretty sure I made this audio video. It should still be up on my channel. And my prediction then was Bernie Sanders was going to get absolutely shafted, which of course I was right about that. You know, I hate when people say like, oh, if you don't X, then you're not paying attention. But this is one of those things where it's like, if you thought Bernie stood a chance, then you're not paying attention. And same thing for this coming election, where I said to people, what is going to be done to where the committees, whether it's the DNC or the RNC, are going to stop shafting people who deserve to be the presidential candidates. And people don't have an answer. And I'm just like, okay, then we're going to get the same shit. But one thing that I thought in 2016, I thought, you know, the people that run things, they really wanted Hillary. And I thought Hillary was just going to obliterate Trump. But Trump won. And it was pretty interesting. At the time, it was actually kind of funny. It was pretty entertaining seeing people freak out and essentially like, oh, our lives are ruined. We're society's gonna crumble and this, you know, so on and so forth. And of course, 4 years into it, people's lives haven't changed that much. Now there's people's mentalities have changed. There's the people with the Trump derangement syndrome that have changed and they have PTSD from this stuff, but that's on them. They're fucking silly. If you look at your lives as a whole in the past 4 years, how much have your lives been changed due to the government and its policies? I imagine the vast majority were saying, haven't really noticed that much at all. Because when you keep going back, even into Obama's presidency, his 8 years, I ask people, how much has your life changed? Some people can say some big things. Some people are going to say, oh, I have this example. I'm able to do this now. Most people are going to be like, I didn't really notice that much. Because that's just kind of how it goes, right? Whoever's in power, they're going to give you crumbs, but they're not going to overwhelmingly change things. The massive changes we want coming from a Bernie Sanders or a Ron Paul, they're not happening. You know, people wanting to take on the military-industrial complex, it's not happening. People wanting to, you know, maybe regulate the money, the monetary system a little bit better. Maybe take a closer look at the Federal Reserve and what are they doing and make what's going on with them being a private entity and being in bed with the government. Maybe we want to take a closer look at this, but no, not really. Not really. The medical, you know, healthcare, where people are like, hey, can we catch up to some of the other Western worlds where, you know, maybe we can do better. You know, we are the United States. Maybe we can do a little bit better, but there's people that are, you know, that are running shit. Why would they want things to be better? They're making an ass ton of money. So you got to think of it in those perspectives. So I don't try to be like very apathetic, but it's just one of those things that I'm like, we're not getting the best. But this is what we have right now. We have Trump and we have Biden. And look, basically the way that I saw it was that I thought Trump was going to win by a landslide if it came down to Trump or Biden, between them two. That's what I initially thought. But then you threw in the curveball, which was or is the pandemic. And that kind of changed the dynamic of things, because no matter who was in charge during the pandemic, whoever was going to look terrible. I guaranteed that, even though I don't have a crystal ball. But like, you have things, for example, like say Biden was trying to attack, and other people were trying to attack Trump for shutting down, doing the travel bans, the international travel bans at first, saying that it's xenophobic. That's silly. That's really stupid. Why would you even say that? I'm just trying to attack him or whatever. And say let's just say, what if like Biden was president at the time? Let's just say, for sake of argument, what if he didn't close things? Would the numbers been even worse? Maybe. But maybe he would have shut things down because there was no reason for him to say the stuff, because he's in power and he doesn't have to say, oh, shutting it down is xenophobic. He's just going to be like, no, we got to do it. It's a game. It's all words. It's all nonsense. I think whoever was in control would have shut it down. But since Trump has that major scarlet letter of racism just lathered on him, that whatever he does there's got to be some type of racist purpose to it or something. That's just kind of how I see it. So now that Trump has this on him, the pandemic, and a lot of people are just so sick of the pandemic and they're so sick of everything and they're putting it on to Trump, which why the fuck not? Go ahead and do it. This kind of changes things, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are just, they feel like if they get rid of Trump, a lot of things will chill out. And let's be honest, to a certain extent, it would. There's so many people that are just on edge all the time because Trump is in office. And I feel like anybody else, if it was in office, at the very least, because like I said, in my opinion, nothing's really going to change. Biden becomes president, Kamala Harris and whatever, you're not going to see major differences. You're going to see little things here and there. Like I said, they're going to give you some fucking breadcrumbs. But the vast majority of stuff, you already know, he's not interested in universal health care, Biden. He's not interested in UBI. He's not interested in stuff like that. He's interested in just serving the way he's served before, and which is making the rich richer and we get breadcrumbs. But so let's just say if Trump's out, at least people can relax. And I think that's, people kind of want that bone thrown to them. There's a lot of people obviously that are going to support Trump overwhelmingly and always going to support him no matter what. And vice versa. But I feel like just because of the pandemic in this situation, that I can't say that Trump has this in the bag at all. I'm seeing people on the left that are very, very confident that Biden and Harris got this. And I don't know. I'm leaning more towards that way, actually. I'm leaning more towards that way because the numbers that I'm seeing with the youth getting involved and with celebrities, hell, The Rock, who's been an independent his entire life and who's been like, I know he's like me. I know he's a radical centrist, right? And then he endorsed them. So the point where there's people that normally stay out of this, people that don't care about politics at all, that are getting involved, and they're thinking like this is the most important thing ever. I'm seeing much bigger things happen. And let's be honest, I think Biden is much more of a corporate lapdog, and he'll mesh much well with the powers that be, right? So at this point, I feel like Trump could lose. And now, of course, the media showed in the 2016 election that Hillary was going to destroy Trump. I think that was a massive mistake, because I think there's a lot of people that were just sitting back, having their arms crossed, like, we don't have to worry. And then so they didn't even get out and vote, because that's what people do. There's this, I forgot what the theory is called, but it's the theory of, let's take my channel or anybody's channel, for example, when you have, like, say, tens of thousands of people watching you, and you're like, hey, could you guys support me? Like, shoot me $1 on Patreon. And then you have tens of thousands of people that could shoot you $1. But the mentality is, well, he has so many people watching him and following him, I don't have to, he's got it. There's more than enough people to support him. And most people have that mentality. And then so you get a fraction of the support that you potentially could get. And so essentially that happens too with voting or anything else. If you think somebody's got something in the bag, why the fuck are you going to participate? So when the media did that, that was really stupid. That was really dumb to just give it to her overwhelmingly, put this type of energy out there that was making people like just kind of chill, take a back seat, be somewhat apathetic. What needs to happen is a sense of urgency, like, oh, this is the fight for our lives or whatever. Even though, in my opinion, the presidency, the left-right paradigm isn't the fight for our lives. It's let's just pendulum swing back and forth between little things here and there and give people this illusion that they're really choosing stuff overall. But when the big major things are just remaining the same, Anyway, because of all that stuff, I'm seeing people really fired up on the left, and I don't know if Trump has it. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if he won by the skin of his teeth. But at the same time, I think from what I'm seeing, and it's like, hey, I could be fucking wrong again. But I'm going to say officially, my prediction is that I think Biden's going to take it this time. I think he's going to take it. It just seems like that's the feeling, and it's more of an intuitive thing, and counting in some of the numbers too that I've been seeing and the youth getting involved, it seems pretty interesting. But I don't know. I can't say 100% confidently, but I'm leaning more towards Biden. So I'm just going to go with that. I think he's going to win. Now, here's the thing. I don't think conservatives, let's say Biden and Harris do win, right? Biden wins. I don't think the conservatives are going to freak out the way that the liberals did when there was funny videos to make. There was compilations of people doing really stupid stuff. Of course, conservatives would freak out in their own way, but not in the way that it was fun. It's probably just going to be sad, you know? And that's the only thing that's like, that'll be a bummer, because I'm looking for, one of my favorite videos I made was the presidential election and like the salty aftermath of it. That was really fun, and looking at all those tweets and stuff and people just freaking out and being really stupid and saying things that, like, it's basically, they were just being doomsayers. Like, the world's America's done, it's finished. And I'm like, you are such a naive fool. These are the same people that think the world's gonna end in their lifetime. Like, who do you think you are? How arrogant are you that you think that everything's gonna end in your time? Generations upon generations have thought that before. Nah, bruh. World's gonna continue spinning on. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, who do I want to win? Well, you guys know that if you've been following me for all these years, you guys know that I'm independent. I'm not down with this left-right paradigm bullshit. I'm not down with perpetuating the same system over and over. But like I said last time, first I said gun to my head, and I mean literally if somebody was forcing me to vote. Then in 2016, I said, gun to my head, I would vote for Trump over Hillary. That was 2016. This time, as much as Biden is senile and out of his mind and just whatever, I would still rather have them in office, because personally, I don't think anything major is going to change. But I am looking forward to people shutting the fuck up. I am looking forward to people calming down. I'm looking forward to Hollywood just shutting up for a second. And just everybody else just chilling out, because they're freaking out and it's pissing me off. Like, if people weren't freaking out so much, that's the only thing that really matters to me. Because the things that I personally want to change are not going to change. So then it just comes back to, what's the silver lining in all of this? Well, there's people that can just shut up. And that's pretty much it, because I don't need all this conflict and turmoil. I don't need it, right? I'm cool with people just having this perception of things are chill. Like Obama, when Obama was in office, there was the perception of just everything's chill, everything's calm. This guy's so cool, calm, and collected, right? Meanwhile, he's droning the fuck out of everybody. Oh, we all bitched about the Patriot Act, but then they make the National Defense Authorization Act, which was just a continuation of the Patriot Act, and so on and so forth. I can go on for days about all the bullshit that he did, but the perception was nice. And I'll be honest. I enjoyed that perception over people losing their minds over Bush. You understand what I'm saying? There wasn't that much difference between Bush and Obama, not really. But as appearance goes, people calm the fuck down. And that's basically what I'm looking for. I'd rather have that. You know, there's other people that rather not, but those people, they're hostile and conflicted people and that need drama in their lives. I don't. But that's it. That's how I see it. So, I'm going to leave it at there. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to give a big shout out to my hard R patrons and my hardest of our patrons: Adam Sains, Ashley Moraine, Brett Cherubini, Brett Liskowski, Hugger Derek, Jacob Stewart, Kathleen Rothman, Mike Gates, and Rebecca Darnell. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey. But that's it. Y'all take care and have a good one.